NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. But today we're going to be taking a look at the BJP, but also whether we are looking at the Congressization of the BJP. I think you all know what I mean. There is a strong, dominant figure at the center, a central leadership that takes all the calls. The regional leaders are being weakened. They are more like ciphers or people who owe their allegiance to the center rather than mass leaders in their own rights. Reminds us a lot about Indira Gandhi, doesn't it? More than Atal Bihari Vajpayee or any other BJP leader. So is Prime Minister Modi's pattern, we've talked about this earlier, is it Indira Gandhi? And more than that, is it the Congressization of the BJP where there are, as I said, the center kind of holds the shot. But as you know, if things fall apart, if the states fall apart, then how long can the center hold? That's what we're going to be discussing today in today's show. Joining me on the show is Rashid Kidwai. He's the author of 24 Akbar Road and a senior journalist and political commentator. We have PKD Nambiar, brand guru and also a political commentator and columnist. Ashutosh, founding editor of satyahindi.com, and Sandeep Ghosh, who's a columnist and a political analyst. So, Rashid, how do you see this? You're an expert of all things Congress, but the BJP, I think, is also now falling into that ambit. Is Prime Minister Modi making the same mistakes, or do you think it's a plus point?
First of all, Priya, thank you for your kind words. Perhaps I don't deserve them. But the fact of the matter is, it is that power dynamics, they have a similar or identical pattern. At the time of Indira Gandhi, she would decide who's going to be the chief minister, who's going to contest election and all those things. And then, winner takes it all. So it had a very good run. But then ultimately what we see today in, the Congress decline of states like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Tamil Nadu, Bengal and all was all a result of, one can take it, trace it back to, Indira Gandhi's doorstep. So that is exactly identical thing is happening, and with good dividends at present in case of, NDA and Mr. Narendra Modi in particular. What we saw in Gujarat, the entire cabinet was removed. I mean, all first-time ministers made it. A chief minister who was not a regional Satra was brought in as a chief minister, and look at that success. The 3/4 kind of majority and historical verdict. Now it's been put to test in Madhya Pradesh and perhaps in Rajasthan also. The big wigs have been asked to contest assembly elections, etc. Remember 1989 Tamil Nadu election, Rajiv Gandhi had done the same thing and finished third, fourth, whatever number you want to give it to him, and all these big wigs lost. So Rajiv Gandhi's this thing is a failure, and whereas in many cases Indira Gandhi was able to do it in a very successful way. So that's the thing. He is that it's very baffling also at one level at the ground level. What BJP is doing is that there is a collective leadership. That means there is Narendra Modi and Amit Shah, and rest are people are of no consequence. You look at the case of Narendra Singh Tomar, who was considered the top 5 ministers at the center. Suddenly he's been asked to contest as assembly election in Madhya Pradesh, and without a promise, without a chief ministerial face. There are a lot of central leaders go to state. But there is a mandate. Kamal Nath himself went, Mamata Banerjee went, but they resign. They just go and park themselves in a particular state and they, excel. In the earlier case of Rajnath Singh and Sushma Swaraj, several instances I can quote from history. But this is an experiment. Let's see what happens in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, and then perhaps we'll get together and talk again. But it is a congressization of BJP, the successful in good times, not in bad times.
Okay. Ashutosh, this idea came from one of the shows I did with you on satyahindi.com. So we were discussing how they haven't announced a chief minister face even in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan when there are tall leaders there because Modi wants it to be a total Modi show. So how is that? This is not the party of L.K. Advani, clearly.
Priya, I think this needs a deeper introspection and a deeper analysis of the BJP. For the simple reason because BJP is a political party which by its own nature believe into the collective leadership. The RSS believes into the collective leadership. Though Sarsang Chalak is the leader, everybody has to follow. But Sarsang Chalak don't make any announcement about any decision unless he has gone through the process of democracy and reaching to a consensus. So consensus building is basically the nature of the RSS. The fact of the matter is that the BJP in the last almost 10 years, since 2013, when Narendra Modi became the prime ministerial candidate, there is a over-centralization of power. And this over-centralization of power which is the basic reason for the demise of the Congress party. Because what happens with the over-centralization, if you look at Gandhi, when Gandhi was the leader of the Congress party, there was many stalwarts around him. So that is called the dispersal of the personality, dispersal of the cult. That not only Gandhi was a charismatic leader, but he also produced many charismatic leaders around him because he did not feel insecure by the surroundings. Same trait was passed on to Jawaharlal Nehru. When Nehru was there, Sardar Patel was there, Rajendra Prasad was there, Rafi Ahmed Kidwai was there, Lal Bahadur Shastri was there, Pant was there. There's galaxy of leaders were there, and he used to fight with them. He used to criticize them. He used to write letters to them. He used to get very irritated. He used to threaten to resign, but he continued with all of them. This process in Congress party discontinued with Indira Gandhi because Indira Gandhi was a child of insecurity. So first he dispensed with the syndicate, the top leaders like Nijlingappa and Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy, all kinds of leaders. And then in 1977, Brahmanand Reddy and others parted with her. And then Mrs. Gandhi created a Congress party where she was the only man in the party. Rest of them were just rudderless, faceless, and just whatever what you assume. Rajiv Gandhi was willing to listen to the criticism, but again he inherited a Congress party which was almost on the downside. Now Narendra Modi is doing similarly the same thing. I was just reading a book recently how Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Advani competed with each other, but still they respected each other. And they created a galaxy of leaders in almost every state. In UP, there was a Kalyan Singh, the Rajnath Singh, there was Kesubhai Patel, the Shankar Singh Waghela, there was a Yadurappa and Ishwarappa and Ashwani Kumar. And then in Uma Bharti, Swaraj Patel, but there's a galaxy of leaders. And the center, the Pramod Mahajan, Narendra Modi, Arun Jaitley, Sushma, all of them were there. Give me one name who is a national general secretary. I do not remember, and I follow Congress politics like anything. I think this is creating a situation where the Chhatraps are being cut to size. People are believing that only Modi can win the elections. So in the long run, the party will dry down at the grassroots level if it is not provided oxygen sooner.
Yeah, PKD, building a second rung may be good for the party, but it also provides a challenge to the leader himself. Advani had a very strong second rung, which in turn ended up challenging him. So is Modi perhaps scared that, that there may be a chief minister who will be strong enough one day and try and do what he did to Advani? Is this why he is not promoting a second rung?
Well, we all look at a political party like BJP from outside. And then, of course, it's a large party. People will explain about that party in different methods and different ways. But the truth is that as long as that ideological background, and I agree with this topic very well, that there is a Congressization of BJP that is predominantly from the last 10, 15 years. The UPA 2 time onward, there is some kind of anger against the UPA. So the people were very sure it's the Modi who is going to come to the power. So a large number of Congress people and people from different parties have come and joined BJP without even having any ideological alliance. So, of course, they have not been able to be, except very few, been able to really be a part of the BJP or the RSS culture. So there is one, as a cadre party, it has got its ideologically connected a large amount of people, even whether they may not be able to become an winnable size, but that's the ideological parties never get dried off. Congress is like a group of people, one leader and a group of people come together. It is not a structured, serious cadre party. So it's an idea. Congress is just an idea of a leader and a group of people. So I would say that comparing the Congress of past and the BJP of today, I'm sure that there is a very strong leader at the center who is commanding an extraordinary respect and power. And I think this is not because of any, at this level, Narendra Modi needs to be insecure. I think that is something beyond my imagination. I mean, he's globally respected. And within the party, there is absolutely a true admiration. It is not with whomsoever I have spoken in my last 5 years or so in the BJP cadre, except one or two people who may say, he has not been given that kind of a position. People generally, genuinely have an admiration. And secondly, most important of the politics always work. This is for Ashutoshji. Politics is not of just always according to the time. I always say that it's a marketplace, and how the market behaves accordingly, that in that particular time, everybody needs to behave. Today is a social media era. Today is a era wherein people wanted to really get the feeling of the delivery. If you are satisfied, people don't change the government. You see in many states, even in Congress-ruled states, people don't wanted to change the states unless and until that government is not really doing very well. As far as the BJP is concerned, I believe that they are in a strong wicket. Yes, it is indeed important for them to have second round of
Let me just bring in Sandeep on this point. If the Prime Minister is not so insecure as PKD says, then why isn't he appointing Vasundhara as the chief ministerial face? She is the obvious choice over there. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, you can still argue that maybe there's anti-incumbency. Vasundhara is the tallest leader in Rajasthan.
Priya, first of all, I have a respectful disagreement with your comparison of Modi and Indira Gandhi. There are definitely shades of similarity, but that begins and ends with the government. How Modi runs his government and how Indira Gandhi ran her government. Indira Gandhi never had an RSS to contend with as far as the party is concerned. Even in the party, she was the boss, and there was no further shadow. Parivar Sangh, which was pulling the shots from behind. Now, Modi's difference is that Modi, left to himself, would have probably replaced Shivraj Singh 2 terms ago, Vasundhara Raje 2 terms ago, but he could not do it. We know the history in Rajasthan, how he tried, but then RSS intervened, Gadkari and everybody intervened, and she got her next term. And similarly, although she was kind of, kept a little bit away, but she could not, but they could not dispense with her and put on another face for BJP in the last elections as well, even though they had to lose the state. Similarly, with Shivraj Singh Chauhan, he could not replace him earlier, and they actually lost the state, but they salvaged it through political engineering or whatever you want to call it. Thereafter. So when Modi is going in for this election, not only Shivraj Singh is going with his back to the wall, Modi himself or the center is going to the back to the wall, and they are unable to replace both these people. Otherwise, if they could, Modi or Amit Shah would have named a new leader for Rajasthan or a new leader for MP. So that's been a problem. That is a dynamics within that party. Indira Gandhi could get a Kamraj plan into place. Modi still cannot get a Kamraj plan there. He could not have had all these people put in the resignation and say, okay, we'll do tomorrow whatever the government Prime Minister or the Supreme Leader wants me to do. So there are different dynamics at play. But the point which you're raising is, I have commented on it myself, of not allowing a second rung of leaders to emerge. But these are very complex ones. They tried to have a second rung, a new generation leader in Devendra Fadnavis to emerge in Maharashtra. It's not been easy because there are different pulls and pressures. Gadkari may have been to some extent silenced or sidelined at the center, but he continues to pull his string. He has his equations with the Sharad Pawar and various other people. So these are very complex issues. So people will have to balance through it. But the point which we keep coming back to is the simultaneous thing of, to some extent, disempowering leaders like Raman Singh, Shivraj Singh, Vasundhara, making them feel insecure, but not insecure enough for them to fall in line and say, okay, appoint somebody else, I'm willing to come to center and take a position there. To some extent, Parikar did it reluctantly. So it's not as black and white as we see it. And I suppose, this is a churn, this is an evolution. It's wrong, it's perhaps not wrong, but incorrect to see it with the past lenses of what Congress did or even BJP did in the time of Vajpayee and Advani. A new form will emerge.
Okay, I'm going to take a quick break and come back and keep the conversation going and take a look at the BJP second rung and see, if there is a new formula, then who was with the face of the new formula really after a quick break. Hello and welcome back to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. Today we are taking a look at the BJP and whether it is heading the Congress via the strong central leadership, but not promoting central state leaders. Rashid, you've been following elections in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan also very closely. Is it just insecurity or is it an anti-incumbency or sound strategy? Would the BJP do better if it had a face at the chief minister candidate of these two elections? 3 states, Chhattisgarh also.
Yeah, I think, Priya, to my mind, it's a combination of all this. But behind all these things is a thing about 24, Mr. Modi's ability, because Mr. Modi wants to create a template that, the people of India, and which is partly, true also, partially true, people of India are essentially voting for him and not for, regional satrap, not for, state chief minister, etc. We've seen in Uttarakhand, in case of Mr. Dhami, having lost election and, BJP winning it. In Himachal also, where BJP did not win, the slogan of Mr. Modi was that vote for me, don't look at the candidate. The other day he was in Bhopal and what did he say? He said, Madhya Pradesh ke man mein Modi and Modi ke man mein Madhya Pradesh. So this is a kind of thing that is there. So regardless of what happens in, in these states, Mr. Modi is reasonably confident of at least Rajasthan, winning Rajasthan. So in that sense, and he's giving a, serious try in Madhya Pradesh. If these states come in, then he will be happy with her 24. Now the problem is about why these sort to be cut inside. I think nobody is competing with Mr. Narendra Modi. So he's a cut above shoulder. He's the tallest leader in the BJP, and there is no question. But at 73, when he's a prime minister, when he himself set a benchmark of 75 par, the Margdarshak Mandal, etc. Obviously, questions are about and future, and that's where we see a very interesting pattern. What is happening in Uttar Pradesh, where Yogi Adityanath is sought to be politically speaking tamed. Mr. Ghosh made a reference to Devendra Fadnavis, who comes from Nagpur, all the proximity to the BJP, RSS leadership, etc. And somewhat circumstances, very I would say interesting, intriguing coincidence is the deputy chief minister. And that's where, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, longest serving chief minister in the history of BJP, I won't say 6 months, until 2 months ago, the entire election was about Shivraj, Mamaji, Mama's this thing, Ladli Baina and all. Suddenly, the prime minister comes, 15-minute address, not once, he refers to the, Shivraj Singh Chauhan by his name or this. No, this is not, if they wanted to have a smooth transition, look how it happened in Assam. Sonowal remained, chief minister, till the last day, till the BJP won, and then Hemanta Biswa Sarma came in. But here it's become a very, I would say, I won't say ugly, but become very open kind of thing that Shivraj Singh Chauhan would not be there. So I think there is a design behind all this, and all those possible successor to Mr. Narendra Modi are being cut to size. And why is it? It happens. It happened even Nehru's time also. I'll finish my remark with that. Lal Bahadur Shastri, who was a very devout sort of Nehruite or follower of Nehru, he used to also say it privately, and Kuldeep Nayyar has written it, कि उनके मन में तो पुत्री का लिए मोह है, वो अपनी पुत्री को चाहते हैं. So this is the thing. So people after Nehru, who there was a big question. Mr. Nehru was a very stable, a very prominent, prime minister. But the kind of succession thing is always based in very importantly in the mind of all those who are politically inclined.
So Ashutosh, at least, there is no Indira Gandhi, no daughter, but there is contenders enough, people are daring. Yogi is daring. Will Prime Minister, do you see a succession plan at all?
Priya, I think it's a very complex, Narendra Modi is a very complex person. And I think historically, if you look at, he is not the most respected leader in the party also. He's a feared leader. People are very scared of him. So the natural process of looking up to the leader is not with him. Like Lalkis Advani, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, they built BJP step by step, brick by brick. And he took talented people, brought into the picture, gave them the responsibility, delegated them, trusted them. So all the second-rung leadership, they grew up looking up to their leader. Like once I remember I was talking to Rajnath Singh and he said, I can't do this to Lalkesh Advani. क्योंकि मैंने उनके लिए झंडा उठाया था, मैंने उनके लिए कुर्सियां लगाई थी, मैंने उनके लिए नारे लगाए थे. So that legacy of 30 years was with Lalkesh Advani and Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Mr. Narendra Modi became the leader of the BJP because not because he was a chief minister and there was a leadership vacuum at the top. So he was thrusted on, not he didn't come through the process. So now he knows that when he was the chief minister, Vasundhara was also chief minister, Shivraj Singh Chauhan was also chief minister, Raman Singh was also chief minister. When he became first among the equals, it's something like this. One of your friend becomes an editor, you have to report to him. Then even the person who becomes an editor finds it's very difficult to dictate terms, and the person who said kal tak to mere saath tha, aaj mera boss ban raha, something like this.
Right.
So I think that's what is happening with him. He doesn't know what to do with Shivraj Singh Chauhan. He doesn't know what to do with Vasundhara Raje Scindia. He wants to remove them and put another leader to make his own party and to run his dictates, which is not happening. I mean, that is not happening because of many other reasons. So I think the problem is that he wants to be decisive, but he's not as decisive as Mrs. Gandhi was. Mrs. Gandhi wanted to remove somebody, just remove. You remember Rajiv Gandhi in 1989, despite being leader of opposition, he removed Virender Patil, he removed M. Channa Reddy by one word. He removed the Andhra Pradesh chief minister, and so everybody. If Narendra Modi has to assert, he wants to assert, but he is not asserting. So it's a very complex situation in that sense. I think what is happening with Shivraj Singh Chauhan, if we think that the Shivraj Singh Chauhan removal is important for the BJP to grow back in Madhya Pradesh, then he should have removed him, whether whatever the consequences. Like Atal Bihari Vajpayee removed Kalyan Singh. He wasn't bothered about it, but he put Ram Prakash Gupta as a chief minister, though Kalyan Singh was very unhappy about it. So what I'm saying is that it's a very complex situation. Two things which are very important is that what is Narendra Modi is doing is centralizing party, centralizing power, and that is being resented by Yogi Adityanath. And Yogi Adityanath is certainly emerging as a successor, and he in the long run is a threat to Modi's authority in the party. And whether he succeeds, whether he doesn't succeed, that's a different thing altogether. We all know that he wanted to remove Yogi Adityanath in P, but he could not. So it's a complex thing, but Yogi Adityanath is certainly a challenger to his leadership.
So I find that very interesting what Ashutosh said, that, the reason he cannot act against Shivraj Singh Chauhan and Vasundhara is also because, they are erstwhile colleagues and people who are perhaps his age or senior to him. So he wants people he can have an authority over. So is he not as decisive as Vajpayee, PKD?
No, that's not true. And smiling as he was saying about it, he was talking partly right, partly. It's not that the BJP is not an ordinary party in the Indian traditional party. It has got a very, very strong cadre based, and every politician, every leader needs to go one day. There is no permanent place. There is no permanent place. This may be, as he said, that 75 is an age which has been fixed. On certain times, they may give an extra 2-3 years more or something like that. But one has to go. I know one BJP leader from Delhi who was once upon a time a very tall leader. Oh, he's in a good health. He's even 95, but he's in a good health. What does he do? From the last 15 years, he is just doing the puzzle. वो जो newspaper पे आते हैं ना, वो puzzle clear करके time spend करते हैं. So the idea is that there is no permanent place in BJP, and every political. I mean, if you really look at it, that we were talking about, Ashutosh ji was talking about how Indira Gandhi was removing people wherein she is not happy with them. In the same way, she has also removed so many state governments. This has been used by her. So there is no comparison between Narendra Modi and as well as Indira Gandhi. BJP as a political will always have a new leader time to time who will be having an extra. I mean, depending upon that individual's personality, the leadership qualities will change. But at the end of the day, there is an organization whether it is Nitin Gadkari, Rajnath Singh, whether Amit Shah or JP Nadda, maybe tomorrow Dharmendra Pradhan, or the leadership will continue to evolve and change without any trouble, And believe me, in every in the BJP, at every level, there is an RSS functionary who sits and monitor.
Yeah, that's
So
the
I
point.
think-
Yeah, even Sandeep made that.
That's, and I'm telling you, I'm a Swamsevak by Bal Swamsevak. By birth, I have been going to RSS Shakas. And whatever we all hear from the RSS is a Hindutva party, and I have never, in my 45 years of age, I have never ever heard any bad word or anything against a religion or anything which happens in an RSS.
That RSS discussion we'll do later. But the fact, Sandeep, you've heard what Ashutosh also said, the decisiveness of Prime Minister Modi, that's an individual thing. Is, do you find that the same reasons that Ashutosh has attributed to him?
Priya, first of all, by definition, all politicians are complex creatures, and prime ministers or top leaders even more so. So to say Modi is complex and Indira Gandhi was not, or Narasimha Rao was not, or VP Singh was not, I think is a fallacy. So you have to be complex in that way. Secondly, things are not as black and white as I said. Rajiv Gandhi got rid of Virendra Patil, and thereafter, how long we know, they didn't get Karnataka back. Rahul Gandhi wanted the same, Rajiv Gandhi's son, Rahul Gandhi wanted to get Ashok Gehlot out, but he could not or has not got him out because he knows if he gets him out, Rajasthan will go out of Congress's hand, and for how long he also doesn't know. So these are things which keep changing. Again, when you talk of bosses or leaders, people evolve, even in families. The way our grandfathers used to be treated by our fathers is different from what my daughter treats me as. So times change, and people have to change their style as well, because you're dealing with different sets of people. So all that happens. So it's not really black and white. And Atal Bihari Vajpayee may have removed a Kalyan Singh thereafter. How long was BJP in the wilderness? Could Atal Bihari Vajpayee have delivered the kind of numbers Modi delivered for UP, whether in the assembly or in this thing? So these are factors people will have to play. And if you're at the helm, you're not just working for yourself, you're also working for the party. At the end of the day, you'll have to deliver. It's not just Modi. If BJP is out of power in so many states, then Modi himself gets weakened. So these are balancing acts which people will do, whether they are correct or not. That history will decide. We will someday compare, and maybe some people will say, see, Modi did it so well. He could have got rid of these two people, but he carried along with them, balanced, and etc. And that's how he retained these states. So that's for us to see. But coming back to your original point, Congressization, by Congressization, what we meant is centralization of power, and thereby not really developing grassroots leaders, giving them authority. And some of the people like Yogi, all that are like, it's quite funny, people used to see Rajnath Singh as Modi's challenger, then Gadkari as this challenger. Everybody was built up. Now people are building up Yogi as the challenger. Yogi could be a challenger. Modi is 73 now. 5 years later, who knows? The Modi, who will challenge? That's part of life. But we tend to, when we can't find anything against Modi, and finally even Rahul Gandhi doesn't seem to be working, we then find somebody within BJP to say, oh, he will be the giant killer, like the Krishna kind of a story. So we start inventing somebody. Be that as it may, nobody is there permanently. They are there. People, everybody will have to go someday or the other. And so let's leave it at that. Thank you.
On a philosophical note, why not? Thank you, Sandeep, for this, and all of you for this conversation. And well, let's see where the challenger comes from. But the one thing is certain, this kind of model of leadership, how long can it hold? Because at the end of the day, you need an organically built organization rather than just a one-person centrally dominated organization, because that has its own lifespan. So thank you all for this conversation, and thank you for watching the show.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.